Today we're playing Urza Saga in the Epic Storm, primarily because it grabs Lion's Eye Diamond, but it also grabs Vexing Bauble, Haywire Might, and Aether Spellbomb. Well, let's go check it out. This video is proudly sponsored by Card Market. Look at this beautiful masterpiece of a combo deck. I'm joking. Obviously, the Epic Storm is my favorite combo deck. Well, just favorite deck, really. And I have to give some inspiration to Quentin Coldman, because Quentin really pushed Vexing Bauble in the Epic Storm. Even though I didn't like the list in that last video, you can find that in the card above, Quentin kept on pushing and had some success with Urza Saga and Vexing Bauble in the Epic Storm, and that made me want to revisit the concept instead of just playing my stock list with ponders and everything that I'm already used to. So I started testing this list out that runs Urza Saga. So the first chapter, your land now taps for a mana. The second chapter, you can start making construct tokens. And then with the third chapter, you can go get an artifact that costs either 1 or 0, not 1 or less. So it cannot grab engineered explosives, for example. You're not allowed to do that. Or Chalice of the Void. It has to be exactly 1 or 0. So in the Epic Storm, it grabs Lion's Eye Diamond or Vexing Bauble. And that means that you're essentially playing 5 copies of Vexing Bauble between Urza Saga and then the card itself. Ideally, you want to play Veil of Summer with Vexing Bauble. Bauble guarantees that your Veil of Summer resolves, so that way it stops things like Daze or Double Force of Will, stuff like that. So that is the reason that you want to play both of these. That was a comment that came up a lot in the last video. They're like, well, if your Veil of Summer resolves, weren't you already winning? Well, not always. Your opponent can have Double Force of Will, or Daze Force of Will, or Spell Pierce Force of Will. There's a whole combination of cards your opponent could have. And Vexing Bauble helps you get through that. So that's why we're playing it. And really, it's been a lot like a 1-mana defense grid in a lot of ways, and I've really enjoyed playing Vexing Bauble as a 2-of with the Urza Saga. In that last video I recorded, I missed the consistency of Ponder. Well, when you're playing Urza Saga, you get some of that consistency back since it finds Lion's Eye Diamond or Lotus Petal, so that way you can use your Echo of Aeons or your Beseech the Mirror. We're in an even better Echo of Aeons deck now, because you obviously can find your Lion's Eye Diamonds, but your Saga tutors them up as well, in conjunction with your Surveillance between Commercial District and Undercity Sewers. I did test out a list with 4 Urza Saga that went down 1 fetchable land, and I didn't really love it. So I'm choosing to play 5 fetchable lands today and 3 copies of Urza Saga. Those are the changes in the main deck. I'm still choosing to play Galvanic Relay over Ponder. That is primarily because there's some friction with Urza Saga that I have found, where you want to play Saga on 1, but then you also want to play Ponder on turn 1. And instead of doing that, Galvanic Relay actually works a lot better in this list, so I'm choosing to play Galvanic Relay. Looking at the sideboard, we have Aether Spellbomb and Haywire Might. These are cards that you can grab off of Urza Saga. Aether Spellbomb can come in a number of matchups. You can bring it in against some blue-white control lists just to bounce a Lavinia, for example. You could bring it in against blue-black Reanimator. I haven't done that yet, but that doesn't mean you couldn't do it. Bounce in Atraxa and then win with some construct tokens while you lock them out with Vexing Bauble. That is certainly something you can do. Haywire Might answers things like Deafening Silence, for example, or opposing copies of Vexing Bauble. I have searched for the Haywire Might to answer a Vexing Bauble and then won that turn, which is really nice. Thoughtseize, obviously you want to play those to deal with Mindbreak Trap, but Veil of Summer in conjunction with Vexing Bauble beats Mindbreak Trap too. So I've started leaving in Veil of Summers in more Mindbreak Trap matchups just because Vexing Bauble is that good. So that is another thing. Abrupt Decay. Why would you play this over Beseech? Well, we're playing 14 lands now due to Urza Saga, and going up to 16 lands always felt like too much. So I'm choosing to play Abrupt Decay. But there's a secondary reason, which is when you look at how the deck is constructed, Collector Oof actually becomes a problem because Aether Spellbomb can't answer it. Haywire Might can't answer Null-Rod. Well, Abrupt Decay can, and it doesn't get stifled. It does get hit by Veil of Summer, unfortunately, but I think Consigned to Memory is actually more popular right now than Veil of Summer, and Abrupt Decay can answer a Collector Oof or Null-Rod, that sort of thing. So we're playing Abrupt Decay again. I will say this, I've used Approach a bunch recently. The One Ring is on the rise, and I really think Approach is where you want to be. I know that I was a little wishy-washy on it before, but with the One Ring just going up in popularity, I think you need to be playing Approach of the Second Sun. So that is my long-winded deck tech. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But let's go play some Epic Storm, make some constructs, and crush some opponents. I will see you in the first match. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to the first match. We are on the play. We're facing someone who was recently playing Jeskai Control. I will keep this. Let's pop out our sideboard because we are playing a Burning Wish deck, and I like looking at my options throughout the game. Our opponent takes a mulligan to 6. Our opponent is mulligan fairly aggressively. Well, their last result was with Jeskai Control, though, so I'm going to assume that they're trying to find a Force of Will here. But my game plan is I'm going to try to beat them down with Construct tokens until we can force an advantage. One thing that you should be aware of in this matchup is that Wrath of the Skies exists. That said, their last list only had 1. We'll get rid of Beseech the Mirror. We just don't need that. And I'm choosing to play out Undercity Sewers here because our opponent has taken a mulligan down to 4. Like, we're not trying to go fast. So by waiting a turn to play the Urza Saga, I can gain full advantage from the Construct tokens, which is what I'm going to try to do in this first game. Our opponent plays a Flooded Strand. We find Chrome Mox. That's not bad. We'll make a Construct and pass the turn. I'm sorry, we'll play an Urza Saga and pass the turn. We don't make constructs until next turn. I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. They fetch with Flooded Strand. I'm just so excited to be playing the beatdown deck that I sort of forgot what was actually happening. Cephalid Illusionist. So they're not on Jeskai Control, they're on Breakfast. That's terrifying. They play Ponder. Well, our game plan just changed. I am no longer trying to be the Urza Saga deck. They play Flooded Strand. Okay, so if they get rid of an Illusionist, I'm not sure what that means. We'll play the Bayou. I think I want to play out all of my artifacts right now. Let's play Chrome Mox. We will not imprint. So next turn I could go and grab a Vexing Bauble, but we don't have Veil of Summer. So I think what I'll try to do here is instead of making a construct, let's Galvanic Relay, because I could hit a Veil of Summer and then go get the Vexing Bauble off of Saga. Misty Rainforest, Lines of Diamond, Dark Ritual, and another Diamond. So no real luck there. They fetch with Flooded Strand for a Hedge Maze. Ponder to the graveyard. They play a Brainstorm. So it's worth noting that Vexing Bauble is very good against Breakfast too, because it means they can't really combo kill you. They fetch with a Flooded Strand for an island and another Brainstorm. The fear here is if they have an Orm's Chant. That's one of the few cards I'm not going to be able to beat on our turn. And they play another Ponder. Sure. So I guess maybe I shouldn't have played the Relay. I should have just Construct, gotten Bauble, and then beat them down with Constructs. Maybe I played this game wrong. Another Beseech. Let's add a mana. I feel like I'm too late to play the Construct game. We'll grab a Vexing Bauble. Play Misty. So I'm just trying to think here. If I guess no matter what, I'm going to play this Dark Ritual. So let's do that. And then I could cast Beseech the Mirror. And I could go get Song. And then play Song without Bargain. Because I could sack the LED in response. And then I have 2 Baubles with a couple green floating. I feel like that's probably the line. Alright, so we're going to cast Beseech holding priority. And I'll add 3 green. Let's fetch in response. We'll go grab Volcanic Island. And now Beseech the Mirror. Grab Song of Creation. Red, blue. Play the song. And now we have a green floating, so if we draw into Veil of Summer, we're golden. Our opponent cannot play Force of Will or Daze here due to the Vexing Bauble. And now we get to draw 2 cards. If we hit a Veil, I can Veil before the Bauble. We did not hit a Veil. I did find a Bloodstained Mire, so I can play and search out for Underground Sea. I don't have red mana for Burning Wish. We'll play Diamond. The triggers happen again. Draw 2. I hit the Veil, so now we can play Veil of Summer. And this is great because now our spells will resolve through the Vexing Bauble. Veil of Summer says your spells can't be countered. It does have some text on the card about blue and black spells, but in general, your spells cannot be countered. That is the idea. Okay, we're starting to get in a little bit of an odd spot here, just because we don't have red mana. So we'll play a Vexing Bauble. We had another land. We can't use that, but what I can do is Echo. So I think we should do that. Spin that wheel. Storm is 8. Another Veil of Summer. Lion's Eye Diamond. And the opponent concedes. Sweet. Vexing Bauble looking pretty good there. Alright. So we're facing Breakfast. I think we want Thoughtseize. And one thing that I'll admit to you is I don't really know what I'm doing for this new board plan. Because previously I was boarding out Relays and Echoes, and I'm not sure if I agree with that. Like, I think Relay isn't great against Breakfast because a lot of them are starting to play Orm's Chant again, so maybe that's the card that leaves here. But I'm not even sure if that's right anymore. Could also try bringing in a few copies of Abrupt Decay to disrupt their combo. I don't hate that. We'll board out one of each Mox. Let's give this a whirl. Game number 2, we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this. We are very close to this hand being phenomenal. I need another land so I can try to play Bauble with backup. But, I mean, this hand is very good. They kept a card on top with the Hedge Maze. We'll take a draw. Dark Ritual doesn't help me here. We'll put Echo Veons to the graveyard. Pass the turn. They play their own Urza Saga. Cephalid Illusionist. Things are not looking good. 5 cards in hand. Lotus Petal, okay. Let's try the Vexing Bauble. That resolved, that's good. And now we can pass the turn. I would like 1 Lion's Eye Diamond, please. The Urza Saga goes to the second chapter. I mean, in reality, I don't even need a Lion's Eye Diamond. Like, a blue land, I could go, like, sacrifice the Petal, Dark Ritual, Echo. Obviously, I'd want a Veil of Summer somewhere in there. But a Chromox could do it. Like, there's a lot of good draws we have here. I guess that's my point. They play a Savannah. And they swing for 1. Ouch. Post-combat, they play Shuko off of the Urza Saga. Okay. That's something you can do. So they can't win unless they answer the Bauble. Okay. Serenity. Spicy. They're just slowly milling their cards. Soul Guide Lantern, Nadu, Memory's Journey. I haven't seen any copies of Orm's Chant yet, which is a card that I am interested in seeing if they have or not. 24 cards left in their deck. There's a Dread Return. Consign to Memory. Needle. Okay. What is your... Are you going to flash back the Memory's Journey, putting the Oracle on top? Is that your game plan here? And there's an Orm's Chant. That is terrifying. So they are playing Orm's Chant. That is not something I want to see. And there's only 1, which means that there's 1 probably in their hand because most lists play 2. So I think I'm dead here. And they have the Orm's Chant. Yeah, so I can't play any spells. We hit the mana I needed too. So I'm able to play Abrupt Decay now. So I guess when they go to flashback Memory's Journey, I target the Illusionist and then I deck them. What a game. What a match. And they're going to put Lotus Petal and Oracle back into their deck. Also Cavern of Souls. Okay. So now I'm going to have an effect in their upkeep. We're going to Abrupt Decay the Illusionist and force them to deck themselves again. Boom! Let's go! Take that, Cephalid breakfast. Wow, we've defeated my lifelong bully. Vexing Bauble looking incredible in this match. We are now 1-0. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Welcome to round number 2. We're on the draw. I have no idea what our opponent's playing. Well, that's not quite true. Their Goldfish history is a lot of random decks, but recently it's been a lot of Blue-Black Reanimator. And I thought that maybe with the format shifting post-ban that they would switch. It doesn't look like that here. It looks like they're still on Blue-Black Reanimator. We'll play out 1 diamond for now, and then let's pass. Our opponent fetches Undercity Sewers. They kept the card on top. Not sure if I love that. They play Ponder. Underground Sea, and it looks like they're passing. I'm going to fetch, and I'm going to grab my own copy of Undercity Sewers here. And we will get our Surveil on. Song of Creation, that can go to the graveyard. Burning Wish is not bad. I'll play out the Lotus Petal because I don't want my Brainstorm to be hit by Daze. And then we'll play the Brainstorm. Very good Brainstorm. I will take that. Okay. This should be a deterministic win. We'll put back, if it will let me, Misty Rainforest and the Tendrils. We'll play Bloodstained Mire. We'll play Chromox and then imprint the Dark Ritual. We'll grab a Bayou. And let's attempt a Veil of Summer. A very fast Force of Will exiling Brazen Borrower. So I lose to another Force of Will here, but I beat Daze. And I mean, if our opponent has double Force of Will, they have double Force of Will. I'm not going to play around it. So I'm going to hold control. We'll play Burning Wish. Black and black. Burning Wish floating 6 black mana. It resolves. We will grab Beseech the Mirror. And we will play Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, getting rid of the Chromox. Alright, so it might seem like showboating because I could grab Tendrils of Agony here. I'm going to grab the Gaea as well. And the reason why is that I can play Song of Creation, and then I won't ever lose to a Consigned to Memory. So I am choosing to not lose and just play around what I feel like is pretty free. They allow the Gaea's Will to resolve. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond, and a Lotus Petal. Okay, so you might be saying, but Bryant, those are your spells for Song of Creation. You have to cast Song of Creation, unfortunately. So we're going to do that now. Use the Lotus Petal for red. Play the song. We'll keep 1 green floating. And now we'll play Bloodstained Mire. Let's start with a Brainstorm. Song of Creation will trigger. Look at that, 2 cards. And there's the Tendrils. We'll put back the Misty and the Echo. We'll fetch using the Bloodstained Mire. Basically, I just want to set up the ability to Burning Wish for Thoughtseize before we win. I'll play Dark Ritual. Draw 2 more. Vexing Bauble. Sure. I don't even know if I want to show them that. Like, why would I do that? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So, we'll Song of Creation. And at this point, we really are just looking for a Burning Wish into Thoughtseize. We'll play Chromox. Couple more artifacts, that's lovely. Imprint Beseech the Mirror. Play a Lotus Petal. And choosing to, like, I know that it seems like I'm just like wasting time right now, but it is literally free. The only thing that it costs me are a few minutes and a couple clicks to not lose to Consigned to Memory here. I feel like a lot of players will say stuff like, like who plays Consigned main deck? Crazy people do. And I don't know if our opponent's sane or not, so why wouldn't I just take the extra 2 seconds to play around something that is relatively free to do? And I don't think it's actually that crazy to play a main deck Consigned to Memory. So let's just, do the right thing. Let's play tight and make sure that that's not something that will happen here. And now our opponent concedes. Nice. So we're going to the post-board games. I like Thoughtseize in this matchup. So you could argue that Spell Bomb is good. I don't know if it is, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I do like boarding out Relay here, just because Thoughtseize interacts with their combo. If you bring in the Bauble, the beatdown plan with Saga is better. But I do worry that sometimes, like, Saga doesn't fight Frog that well. So that is a concern. I'm going to board out one of each Mox, and then I'm actually going to bring back in a single Galvanic Relay. Let's try this out. Game number 2, we will keep. So this is a hand where we could try to lock them out with Bauble while doing the construct thing. So I'm definitely into that. They are a Wasteland deck, which is a concern. They grab Underground Sea. Thoughtseize. Sure. You cannot Thoughtseize a copy of Urza's Saga. Not possible. They take Song of Creation. Okay. I don't think I actually mind that. We draw another Petal. Okay. I'm going to play out Saga on turn 1. I was thinking I was going to play out Undercity Sewers on 1, but the extra Petal allows me to make constructs the whole time. So this is what we're going to do here. They have the Wasteland. That's tough. Okay. Thoughtseize into Wasteland. We draw another Veil of Summer. I'll play the Misty. We'll pass the turn. No Entomb. Big fan. Not having the card that just kills me. They play Underground Sea. Into Psychic Frog. Yeah. End step will fetch. Go grab a Commercial District. And let's surveil. Hopefully an Echo of Aeons. Beseech the Mirror. Yeah, we'll keep that one. That one is decent, I've heard. So now we're looking for like a Dark Ritual. Because I kept on top, they're going to play Surgical Extraction on Urza's Saga. Okay. A little bit of a bummer. Brainstorm, not a bad draw. We'll play Undercity Sewers. Come on, Echo of Aeons. Am I supposed to get rid of a Lion's Eye Diamond? I don't think so. We're going to keep that. Alright, so they attack with the Psychic Frog. They do not pump up their frog, so they like everything in their hand. They draw an extra card off the frog. This is where it starts becoming dangerous because the Psychic Frog card advantage just continues to roll. They play Polluted Delta, 4 cards left in their hand. They fetch with Polluted Delta. Engineered Explosives. So they're going to be able to kill my Lotus Petals here. That hurts. I'm going to play the Brainstorm. I thought about maybe waiting a turn, but we just have to find something. A little awkward here, because our protection color is the same as our payoff, so we don't actually get to do this. So something we could try doing here is baiting with a Veil of Summer to see if they'll just counter it. But if it just resolves, you feel a little foolish. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond, which might help them bait with a counterspell here. So let's try a Veil of Summer. Yeah, they didn't bite. Okay, we have to pass. I was trying to sell them on the idea that I had Echo in my hand, but they didn't buy it. They swing with the frog. And that play makes sense because, like, you're never going to have red, green, green with the way our hand is currently constructed. So that is why I made this play. The Engineered Explosives really hurt us that turn because I think otherwise we have a double protected win, and we ended up with nothing instead. And now they have a Wasteland. Ugh. This is where I talked about the card advantage from Psychic Frog rolling. This is that spot. They tap out for a Murktide Regent. Okay, so we know that there's a Burning Wish underneath with this Brainstorm. We need to find something good underneath those. Beseech the Mirror is not it. I'll take a fetch land. That's one of the colors we need. So we have 2 lands left in our deck, and they are Volcanic Island and Bayou. They're attacking for 8. So they have lethal on board next turn. Another frog. That doesn't really make a difference. We will fetch. And I don't know if it really matters which card we play here. Or which land we grab. Because either way, you have to draw the other color of mana. We'll grab Volcanic Island. We did not draw the other color of mana. Alright, Burning Wish. We will grab Echo of Aeons. And attempt to spin the wheel. Our opponent has not played any force effect this game, so they're roughly 100% to have one here. Oh no, I am so surprised. Okay. That game got away from us. I do feel like we put up a decent fight, but they just had everything. So It stinks, but that's the reality of what happened. So we're going to try again. I wonder if they boarded out the large creature package and if I should get rid of this spell bomb to bring back in a second relay. I'm going to try this instead. Because we never saw any reanimates or entomb or anything like that there. On the play for the third game. Pretty good hand. Keep. We'll play Bayou, Lion's Eye Diamond, Lotus Petal, Mox Opal. Let's play Burning Wish. And in response, I'll add 3 blue. The Burning Wish resolves. So I could grab Empty the Warrants here. We did see that they have Engineer Explosives in their deck. So it's not a free win, but they have to find it before they're dead on a mulligan to 5. So I'm going to choose to grab Empty, and we'll play Empty. Let's go Empty the Warrens. The Echo threatening from the graveyard I think mattered here. Underground Sea into Ponder. They shuffled. Good sign. Dark Ritual. Doesn't allow us to cast that Echo. Swing. They're at 10 life. Pluto Delta. So they could play a Psychic Frog and block, but that's still lethal. Entomb. They have Entomb Atraxa. No! Unreal. So I attack. They gain 7. They take 9. Is that still lethal? So I attack. They block 1. They gain 7 up to 9. They take 9. That's still lethal. They found explosives. I think that this is exact lethal. Wow, it doesn't get closer than that. The Epic Storm 2-0 over Cephalid Breakfast and Blue-Black Reanimator. What a way to start this league. There's 3 more matches. Let's hope they're as good as this. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and Mana tokens as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Welcome to round number 3. We're on the play versus Rude Slay, who tends to play a lot of Black-Red Reanimator, often with World Gorger Dragon combo tucked in there as well. Here we have opened up a hand where it seems good because you have Lion's Eye Diamond and Mox Opal, but you can't actually cast any of your cards because Mox Opal doesn't have Metalcraft. We have to mulligan. Alright, well we have turn 1 Echo of Aeons. I like that. We'll keep bottom the Galvanic Relay. We'll play Volcanic Island, play Lion's Eye Diamond, and let's attempt to flashback the Echo of Aeons. It resolves, and we've opened up a win with our new hand. Big fan. Actually, is it a win? The Gaia's Will is in our hand. Well, I'm going to play something here, so we'll play the Mox Opal. Dark Rituals from 6. Yeah, we have a Beseech chain here. So we'll Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing Mox Opal. We'll grab another Beseech the Mirror. Sacrifice Lotus Petal. That's Storm 8. And now we'll grab one more Beseech the Mirror. And then we will grab Tendrils of Agony. Okay, sacrifice the Lion's Eye Diamond. Select the Tendrils of Agony. Click, click, boom! Love it. Alright, we've taken game number 1 from Reanimator. Okay, we likely want the Aether Spellbomb. Our opponent's last sideboard brought in a bunch of like sideboard jukes. Like they have Dothy Voidwalker, they have the Wither Bloom Apprentice plus Chain of Smog combo. So that's something we should be aware of. So I like the Spellbomb. We could probably board out a Vexing Bauble. And then the question is Galvanic Relay better or worse than Thoughtseize? I think it's probably better. On the play, I would consider Thoughtseize. On the draw, I definitely want Galvanic Relay. So let's try this out. And unfortunately, we're on the draw now, so things are going to be a little bit different here. Our opponent's taking a mulligan. Our hand doesn't really do much, so I'm going to send this back. I'm going to keep it, but this hand is ugly. I'm going to bottom the Tendrils of Agony. We will keep bottom the Tendrils. And our opponent has gone to 5. Okay, our opponent went down all the way to 4 cards. They have Swamp into Thoughtseize targeting themselves. Reanimate is their final card in hand. So next turn they're going to reanimate an Atraxa. Well, we could put a Song of Creation into play. So it's their Atraxa versus our Song. Alternatively, I could just pass the turn, and then next turn try to play Song. And this way I get to cycle Veil of Summer. I think I like this more. We're going to pass. Because if I play out Song of Creation this turn, I'd have to draw a 0 off the top or else it doesn't even work. So this gives me the potential to draw into something else that might allow us to win. Interesting 10 cards revealed. They've selected Lotus Petal, Animate Dead, Thoughtseize, Swamp, and a Dark Ritual. Oh, they didn't select a creature. They're telling me now in chat. Oh, that's not good. They play Lotus Petal, and now they Thoughtseize. I will Veil of Summer. We draw Beseech the Mirror. Do we just have a Gaia's Will win? We might. This might just be an easy Gaia's Will win. No! We can't have nice things. Wow. Okay, I'm just going to play the Song of Creation. Our whole game plan is to draw a 0-mana artifact. We have a couple turns to do it. They attack for 7. We're at 13. Well, that is a 0-mana artifact. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond, and let's get this show on the road. I'm going to hold priority. Actually, no, I'm not going to sack the diamond. I thought about it. I'm not going to. Well, that was insane. We'll put back the relay and... It doesn't matter. I'm going to play a bunch of spells here. Diamond. We'll play the opal. Draw 2. Play the new opal. I wonder if we just have a win without needing to cast the echo. I'm sure we do. Storm is 6. We'll play Volcanic. And the opponent concedes. Alright, well, we're running pretty hot. We're now 3-0 defeating Red-Black Reanimator. So we've defeated both flavors of the Graveyard combo deck. 2 matches left to go. Let's see if we can win those as well. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Round number 4, we are on the play. Well, this is a hand. It's very reactive and slow. It doesn't actually do anything. I'm going to mulligan. We don't know what our opponent's playing, and I think keeping the hand is just a big trap. Here we've opened up another hand that doesn't actually do anything. It's like a mulligan to 5, because you don't want Gaia's Will, you don't want the Tendrils, you even don't want the second Beseech the Mirror, so it's like a mulligan to 4. Alright, we're going to 5. Sure, we'll keep this. Bottom Mox Opal. And the Volcanic Island. Not really sure what they're playing. We'll lead on Commercial District. Beseech the Mirror. I'm so far away from that, I'm not keeping it. We'll play out the Lion's Eye Diamond. And then we'll pass the turn. They're thinking about this diamond. Forcible exiling Psychic Frog. Okay. They play a Badlands. And Thoughtseize, sure. Well, my mulligan to 5 not feeling very good right now. They take my Brainstorm. Well, that's a Burning Wish. We will fetch. Grab Underground Sea. We'll play the Burning Wish. And now we're a Lion's Eye Diamond away from greatness. Okay, send it back. We have 3 Lion's Eye Diamonds and then 3 copies of Urza's Saga. They play Volcanic Island. Nile Spell, what are you doing over there? Bloodstained Mire. We'll play that, pass the turn. I'm not really sure what they're doing. Like, this doesn't look like Grixis Delver, because Grixis Delver traditionally doesn't play Thoughtseize in the main deck, but it also certainly doesn't play Nile Spellbomb. They have 3 cards left in their hand. They search out Underground Sea. Baleful Strix, so it's just like Grixis control. We will fetch with the Mire, and we'll go grab a Undercity Sewers. That's an Urza Saga. That is what we wanted. Let's go. Play the Saga. Pass the turn. Basic Mountain. They swing for 1. We'll go to 17. Brainstorm. I'm not going to play that. Snapcaster Mage. So they could have gone Snapcaster Thoughtseize last turn, but I guess my only 2 cards were Veil Echo, so that wasn't very desirable. So now they're going to flashback Brainstorm. Still on the end step, while they can't Orcish Bowmasters me, I will play Brainstorm. We find Lion's Eye Diamond. We're going to tuck this on top of the deck. So that makes me wonder if I should be grabbing a Vexing Bauble. But I guess if I grab Vexing Bauble... So they could hardcast Force and then I just sack the Bauble and draw a card? That's not the end of the world. End step, we'll make a Construct token. We'll draw. And we will now go grab the Vexing Bauble. Let's attempt a Veil of Summer. They're going to destroy the Bauble in response. Let's draw a card. Okay, the Cowgan's command cannot resolve. We'll discard the Galvanic Relay. Veil of Summer on the stack. And it resolved. We drew Misty Rainforest. We only have 2 fetchable lands left in the deck, so I'm going to fetch now. And I think it's better to grab Volcanic, because we don't need green mana, we have plenty of black mana. We'll play Dark Ritual, Lion's Eye Diamond, and now we will flashback the Echo of Aeons. I mean, we've made this game pretty competitive for a mulligan to 5, where it started off with Forcible Thoughtseize. And now they're likely debating, do you use the Nile Spellbomb? The opponent says no. And I believe we have found a win. We'll play Lotus Petal, Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll play Burning Wish, say yes, grab Tendrils of Agony, and then play Tendrils of Agony. They're going to fetch in response. Okay, I mean, if you have a main deck consigned to memory, it's good here. Sweet. Alright, we've taken game number 1 from Grixis control. I mean, that game went pretty well for us. We could bring in like Abrupt Decay for something like Null Rod. I don't think that's crazy. I also kind of like the idea of bringing in some number of Thoughtseize. I don't mind boarding down on Moxen here. But the question is, do I want Abrupt Decay? And I'm not sure that I do. I'm going to just try this out. The problem is I don't ever want to draw Abrupt Decay. Unless our opponent has it, I don't want it. They have kept 7 cards very quickly. I don't love this hand just because I feel like we're ages away from Beseech the Mirror being relevant. But mulliganing on the draw against the Thoughtseize deck doesn't feel good, so we're going to try this out. And then obviously they have the turn 1 Thoughtseize. And our opponent takes Brainstorm, which I think is very reasonable. We draw a second copy of Veil of Summer. We'll just pass. Included Delta, Volcanic Island, and 2 Psychic Frog. Good start for them. So at this point, we're just begging to draw into an Echo of Aeons. We'll grab Commercial District, Surveil. Speaking of the devil, there it is. So the fear here is Surgical Extraction, but I'm not playing around it. Vexing Bauble is the draw. We'll play Lion's Eye Diamond. Lion's Eye Diamond. Veil of Summer. I guess if I could have held the Echo in my hand rather than drawing a random card, that would have played around Surgical. Alright, so our opponent should discard all of the cards to Psychic Frog to make the frog bigger. And then if they're really smart, what they can do is exile the cards they don't want to draw from their... So you would exile double Polluted Delta and then the Mountain. They discard a Consign to Memory. So we didn't hit a win, but I did hit a large Galvanic Relay. We'll play the Volcanic. The question is, do I burn a Dark Ritual here? I don't think I want to. I think 5 cards is good enough. Galvanic Relay for 5. Echo, Relay, Echo... Oh, I'm sorry. It's Relay, Echo, Brainstorm, Song, Veil. That was actually very bad. That was a terrible Relay for 5. Our opponent attacks with their giant Psychic Frog. They discard a Baleful Strix, Nile Spellbomb, a Ponder, and I will be taking 8. So they draw a card, not loving my position, and now they play another Ponder. They shuffled off the Ponder, they play Polluted Delta, and now we need a very good Brainstorm if we want to win this, I think. Vexing Bauble. It's an interesting spot to be in. So I could play Saga, play Bauble, and then Veil back up But then I have to brainstorm into Lion's Eye Diamond, or just like Lotus Petal, something insane, like Beseech the Mirror. So we'll play Saga, and let's attempt the Vexing Bauble. I have a face-up Veil of Summer, so we're not even sure if they want to try to interact here. And they thought about it, and now they're going to just let it go. No matter what, I have to play the Veil of Summer, so we'll do that. It's the, like, otherwise I'm locked underneath my own Vexing Bauble, so let's just play this. Okay. And now we need the world's best Brainstorm. Let's see it. Brainstorm on the stack. I would like 1 Lotus Petal and 1 Beseech the Mirror, please. They fetch with Polluted Delta. Double black. Bowmasters doesn't matter here. The Veil is already resolved. They target themselves. Okay, sure. Brainstorm. That is not good enough. And it would not have been good enough if I chose to not play the Saga and the Bauble either. Okay, we're going to game number 3. I think we should do no changes. Let's just try the same list and, draw a little bit better. Game 3, we're on the play. Wow, this is a hand. Keep. Our opponent has also kept. We will lead on a Bloodstained Mire. Grab Underground Sea. Let's attempt a Dark Ritual. Play Thoughtseize. They kept a hand that cannot interact. We'll take Brainstorm. Play Lion's Eye Diamond. And now we're going to Echo of Aeons, floating a blue mana and a black mana. Storm is 4. So I can take the guaranteed Galvanic Relay for 7. And I think that's probably the best move here. You could try to Brainstorm into the nuts to allow you to Veil of Summer win. But I'm just not feeling as confident as I would a Galvanic Relay for 7. I think the Relay for 7 is more likely to win than 3 cards off Brainstorm. So Dark Ritual, Lion's Eye Diamond, Chrome Mox. Chrome Mox LED would have done it, for what it's worth. But that was an amazing 7. So that's good for us. They play Volcanic Island, and it looks like they're just passing. Let's play Lion's Eye Diamond, Lion's Eye Diamond. We'll play Chrome Mox. We'll imprint Galvanic Relay. Play the Bloodstained Mire. So if for some reason we have to play Song of Creation, it is better to have the land in exile than it is in your hand. Same thing for another Echo of Aeons. We will play a Dark Ritual. Let's play Vexing Bauble. That resolved. Okay, and now we will fetch, grab a Bayou, and we'll play Veil of Summer. I can now play Burning Wish into Thoughtseize, which will clear the way for Beseech the Mirror to be lethal. So if they have a Fairy Macabre here or Double Consign, and they just have nothing, so this is lethal. Our opponent says, good games, well played, thank you. And that's the match. So we're 1 match away from, the goal, a undefeated trophy in Legacy. Let's see if we can go get it. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? For the trophy, we're facing the trophy leader at the moment, Guy Bonilla, and in my mind, I always think of them playing Moonstompy, but their Goldfish history recently is a little bit of everything. So I don't love this hand, but Urza Saga does get you a diamond. You have Bauble Veil. You're just an echo away. So I think I'm going to try this. Underground Sea, so not Moonstompy. Okay. Mox Opal, an incredible draw here. We'll play the Saga, Lotus Petal, and another Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. And now let's try Vexing Bauble. The opponent casts a Brainstorm in response. Vexing Bauble resolves. Love to see it. Alright, we will pass the turn. Basic Swamp. Psychic Frog. Sure. Echo of Aeons. Don't mind if I do. Alright. Let's play the Brainstorm. I'm going to hide the Veil of Summer on top of the deck. This way, if they happen to draw into a Thoughtseize, I am not punished. Oh, they're on Doomsday. I am dead. Damn. Okay. The Saga... Oh no, it's just the One Ring. Thank you! Ah, I thought I was dead here. Yeah, I don't care about the One Ring. Sure. You can have your little precious all you want. They discard Lotus Petal. Boggart Trawler. What? Is this not Doomsday? Another Psychic Frog. Sure. So we're going to draw the Veil of Summer. We'll tap the Saga. And now we will go grab a Lion's Eye Diamond. We will play the Veil of Summer. And now, if they try to Daze or Force of Will, it's just going to be countered by the Vexing Bauble. We'll play another Vexing Bauble here. I'm sorry, another Mox Opal. Words are tough. Alright, and now we will flash back the Echo of Aeons, floating a blue mana. Storm count is 3. They discard a Force of Will, and a Sink and a Stupor. I wonder if they're just on a control deck here, and not Doomsday. And this should be lethal. We'll play our land for turn. Tap this Mox Opal for a black. We'll play another copy of Mox Opal. We'll play a Chrome Mox. And then we'll play another Chrome Mox. No imprint. I don't want to show them the relay if I don't have to. Like, they probably know about it, but there's no point of definitely telling them about it. And one thing to remember, our opponent is underneath ring protection. So we'll grab an Underground Sea. We're going to end up using Song of Creation. We'll grab Bayou. Beseech the Mirror with Bargain. Actually, let's tap this Mox Opal. Beseech the Mirror with Bargain. Getting rid of the Mox Opal. We'll grab another Beseech the Mirror. And now we'll grab another Beseech the Mirror. Sacrifice the Chrome Mox. And now we will grab Gaea's Will, holding priority. We'll add black and black. Okay, so now we will play Lotus Petal. Use the Lotus Petal. And now we're going to Beseech the Mirror with Bargain, sacrificing the Vexing Bauble. We're going to grab Song of Creation. Play the Song of Creation. And here's the tough part. We have 41 cards in our deck. We need to get to the point where we can approach without decking, or else we have to play into a Hardcast Echo because we've already played Gaea's Will this turn. So we're going to play Mox Opal, play Chrome Mox, we'll imprint Galvanic Relay, play a Chrome Mox, draw 2. There's a diamond. We'll put Veil there. We'll float a blue mana. Let's play Mox Opal. 2 more diamonds, okay. Keep the new Opal. We'll play a diamond. Another Burning Wish, okay. We'll play a diamond. Okay, so we should probably try to put Burning Wish on the stack for approach here. I'm going to hold control. Turn off all auto yields. We're going to cast the Burning Wish. In response, we'll Brainstorm. In response to that, we're going to add a bunch of mana. So we're going to draw 2. Dark Ritual's great here. Put 2 lands on top. Song of Creation. And now Burning Wish. Yes. Grab Approach. We'll play the Approach down to 20 cards left in our deck. Lion's Eye Diamond. So this gets us 2 closer. Another Diamond. Okay. So we've got this. We'll play Diamond. And now I'll play a Petal. So this is going to leave 1 card left in deck. I'm sorry, 1 card before you get to the approach. I misspoke. And now we will hold priority and cast Dark Ritual. In response, I'll add white and black. And now we'll draw into the approach. And now I'll play Approach of the Second Sun. Nice copy of the One Ring. We've taken game number 1. So it looks like it's just Dimir control of some sort. I think we want Thoughtseize, and the game plan, once again, is just going to be decide down on Moxen. I like Relay, I like Thoughtseize, and I don't think with Echo, like when you have Saga plus Bauble, Echo becomes good against the blue deck, so I don't want to side it out. So I think shaving a couple copy of Moxen and more interactive matchups now is better, just because before you got to use your Moxen to overpower blue decks with Galvanic Relay. You're not guaranteed to do that in a world with consigned memory. So I think shaving room for Thoughtseize is good. Game number 2, we've opened up a hand that is not good. We're going to send that back. This hand is fine. We'll keep. Bottom a copy of Chrome Mox. Underground Sea, Lotus Petal, into Ponder. They did not shuffle with Ponder. We draw Underground Sea. I'll play Bayou into Thoughtseize. I was really hoping to draw a card I could imprint onto Chrome Mox to play around Daze this turn, but that did not happen. They're going to Force of Will the Thoughtseize. Interesting. Okay, pass. I mean, to me this says they're trying to, like, play a big spell here, like the One Ring or Shield Dread. Okay. They have 2 cards left in their hand. Veil of Summer's a good draw. We'll play Urza's Saga. The question is, can I win before Shield Dread kills me? Dark Ritual would certainly help. Okay. Let's see what we're capable of doing here. They have a land. Shield Dread will attack me down to 14. Come on, Dark Ritual. Pretty please. Galvanic Relay that I can't cast. I guess I do get to make a blocker here, though. I mean, it's not nothing. Land number 3, still 2 cards in their hand. I'm going to attempt to make a construct token. Am I allowed to block? Would appear so. Okay. Draw. Song of Creation. Not a card I wanted here. So we'll tap for colorless. Did I miss something? Oh, I tapped in my draw step. Oh no! That might have just cost me the game. I just messed up. I messed up real bad. What can I do? I have to hope I live another turn if I want to be protected. I mean, I can relay. They attack, I go to 4. I'm not actually dead yet. I mean, I am dead to a Bowmasters. I'll grab a Mox Opal, play Lion's Eye Diamond, and now we'll play Chrome Mox, imprint Song of Creation, Galvanic Relay. I can't believe I tapped the Saga in my draw step because of the Shield Dread trigger. 2 mana here. Is this a Bowmasters? They're going to consign to memory the Relay. Honestly, I think I'm good with that. Because my Beseech win couldn't beat a consign. So all we're looking for here is 1 mana. And we reveal the Burning Wish. Technically, that gives me a win next turn. Under City Sewers. They kept the card on top. So they attack, I go to 6. Diamond is very good. Let's start with Veil. Let's start with Veil. Okay, we'll play the Lion's Eye Diamond. Storm is 2. And now we will discard the diamonds. Why do I have a white mana? Oh, from the Opal. We'll play Burning Wish. Storm is 3. We'll grab the sideboard copy of Beseech the Mirror. Cast it with Bargain. Sacrifice the Mox Opal. And now we will get the other copy of Beseech the Mirror and cast it with Bargain. Storm is now 5. And now this one will grab Gaea's Will. We'll play Gaea's Will. If they have a Surgical, we lose. We can beat a Fairy Macabre here. Technically, I have 1 draw off of a Veil of Summer and have to like hope that it's just exactly Tendrils or Burning Wish. They have Fairy Macabre. So they're going to exile my diamonds here. Does that beat me? I don't know. So I can replay Saga. Hold on. I think I've just found a good line. So we can tap this for mana. Beseech for Lion's Eye Diamond without the Bargain. And that should do it for us. Did I just see through the Matrix? Alright, play Beseech. We will grab a Lion's Eye Diamond. Diamond is from 8. We'll play the Opal. Play Chrome Mox. This gives us Metalcraft. And now the Opal taps for mana. Beseech the Mirror is 11. Tendrils of Agony is 12. Sacrifice Chrome Mox. I mean, if they have a Brainstorm or some way to draw cards, we don't get there. But, I mean, this is the best I could do. Storm 12. Wow, we got there! Let's go! Undefeated trophy. I love that. The Epic Saga, too strong. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I love the deck list. It felt so good. I don't really have any recommended changes. I will say this. I posted this in the member section of the Storm Discord. I've been considering cutting wear down. I just haven't really used it, but if you don't play it, you don't have any Burning Wish targets to answer anything. Like, I'm already not running a way to kill creatures out of as a Burning Wish target. So wear down does beat opposing Vexing Baubles and Deafening Silences, but I've had some issues recently with Blood Moon plus Chalice Zero or Blood Moon plus opposing Vexing Baubles locking me out. I've looked at red alternatives like Bifrost, Shattering Spree. I don't really like any of them. So I think it's either play wear down and don't like it, don't play anything and lose sometimes to corner cases, or C, just suck it up. I think I'm in the suck it up territory and just accepting that wear down can't beat Blood Moon plus secondary lock piece. But that's what I've got for today. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How good was Urza Saga? How good was Vexing Bauble? What did you think of the sideboard targets like Aether Spellbomb and Haywire Might? I realized that we didn't actually get to use them based on our matchups this league, but yeah, also, approach looking so good this league. I was wishy-washy before. Card is an all-star right now. I told you the One Ring is on the rise, and well, that means that approach of the Second Sun is even better at the moment. But thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. Hey, Bryant Cook. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. There's no better way to support our channel. If you're interested in elevating your combo game, visit theepicstorm.com/tutoring for details about our coaching sessions. Don't worry, there's more great combo content coming right up.